Good Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversations DailyNews. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this hump day. We have the truth of the day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Then in today's entertainment spotlight, you've been part of my conversation with author Kristine Ochu discussing her new book, Campfire Confessions. Enjoy today's program. For Conversations DailyNews, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Wednesday headlines. In national news, U.S. strikes harder at Putin, banning all Russian oil imports. Striking harder at Russia's economy, President Joe Biden on Tuesday ordered a ban on Russian oil imports in retaliation for Vladimir Putin's onslaught in Ukraine. The major trade action, responding to the pleas of Ukraine's embattled leader, thrusts the U.S. out front as Western nations seek to halt Putin's invasion. Americans will feel pain, too, at the gas pump, Biden acknowledged, declaring, defending freedom is going to cost. The imports have been a glaring omission in the massive sanctions put in place on Russia over the invasion. Energy exports have kept a steady stream of cash flowing to Russia despite otherwise severe restrictions on its financial sector. We will not be part of subsidizing Putin's war, Biden said, calling the new action a powerful blow against Russia's ability to fund the ongoing offensive. Biden said the U.S. was acting in close consultation with European allies who are more dependent on Russian energy supplies and who he acknowledged may not be able to join in immediately. The announcement marked the latest Biden attempt at cutting off Russia from much of the global economy and ensuring that the Ukraine invasion is a strategic loss for Putin, even if he manages to seize territory. Ukraine will never be a victory for Putin, Biden said on Tuesday. Ukrainian President Zelensky, in a tweet, praised Biden's action, thankful for U.S. and POTUS personal leadership in striking in the heart of Putin's war machine and banning oil, gas, and coal from U.S. market, encouraged other countries and leaders to follow. The European Union this week will commit to phasing out its reliance on Russia for energy needs as soon as possible, but filling the void without crippling EU economies will likely take some time. The UK, which is no longer part of the EU, announced Tuesday that oil and oil products from Russia will be phased out by the end of the year. Unlike the U.S., which is a major oil and gas producer, Europe relies on imports for 90% of its gas and 97% of its oil products. Russia supplies 40% of Europe's gas and a quarter of its oil. The U.S. does not import Russian natural gas. The issue of oil sanctions has created a conflict for the president between political interests at home and efforts to impose costs on Russia. Though Russian oil makes up only a small part of U.S. imports, Biden has said he was reluctant to ban it, cutting into supply here and pushing gasoline prices higher. Inflation is at a 40-year peak, fueled in large part by gas prices, and that could hurt Biden heading into the November midterm elections. Biden said it was understandable that prices were rising, but cautioned the U.S. energy industry against excessive price increases and exploiting consumers. In more national news, first trial in Capitol riot ends in conviction on all counts. A Texas man was convicted on Tuesday of storming the U.S. Capitol with a holstered handgun, a milestone victory for federal prosecutors in the first trial among hundreds of cases arising from last year's riot. A jury also convicted him of obstructing Congress' joint session to certify the Electoral College vote on January 6, 2021, of interfering with police officers who were guarding the Capitol, and of threatening his two teenage children if they reported him to law enforcement after the attack. Jurors deliberated about 3 hours and convicted him on all counts. In more national news, jury picked for alleged plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Whitmore. A jury was selected Tuesday for the trial of 4 men charged with plotting to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmore in 2020 because they were angry over pandemic restrictions. Opening statements were scheduled for today in a federal court in Grand Rapids, where the presiding judge advised jurors on Tuesday to stay off social media and not to discuss the case with family. In international news, Poland offers fighter jets to U.S. and plan to help Ukraine. Poland said Tuesday it would give all of its MiG-29 fighter jets to the U.S., potentially advancing an arrangement that would allow the warplanes to be passed along to Ukraine's military as it confronts invading Russian forces. The United States did not immediately confirm the deal, according to the Associated Press, although Western nations have been discussing possible ways to answer the Ukraine's appeal for warplanes. And finally, in business news, gas tops $4 per gallon average, first time since 2008. the price of regular gasoline broke $4 per gallon on average across the U.S. for the first time since 2008. During the first full week of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the price of regular gas rose by almost 41 cents, according to AAA. That represents the second largest jump in average national prices in a week, GasBuddy reported. As Russia's war on Ukraine continues to evolve and we head into a season where gas prices typically increase, Americans should prepare to pay more for gas than they ever have before, said the head of the petroleum analysis for GasBuddy in a statement. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, it's all yours.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Learn to appreciate the flow of giving. The act of giving and receiving are intimately intertwined, yet you cannot attract abundance by simply giving gifts to all you meet. You will find yourself wallowing in disappointment when you do not receive the expected result. An error in judgment occurs when you think the only way you deserve a gift is to give one first. When you laden your gifts with expectations or motives, it ceases to become a gift. An expectation might be as simple as a thank you note or, well, I gave you a gift on your birthday, where's mine? Both of the above statements are societal teachings gone wrong. Give to someone because it comes from your heart, because you want to, or because it is what God asks of you in this moment. Today, appreciate the flow of reciprocal abundance as a gift in itself, and enjoy your day.
We are part of my conversation coming up with author Kristine Ochu in today's Entertainment Spotlight. Stay with us. You're listening to Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Author Kristine Ochu joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about her new book, Campfire Confessions. Here's a bit of our conversation. What has this experience been like for you to see the way that people are responding to these characters that you lived with for so much time?
Yeah, that's a great question. I really wanted to make the characters relatable. And, especially the last 5 years as I was writing this book, it was a 5-year journey. I met a lot of different women and talked to them about, what struggles they were dealing with and what did they want. And then also, being fortunate to have great friends to understand how when we get together we can laugh and things get easier and brighter. But I feel that women are really connecting to the fact that these are, kind of remind them of their best friends, remind them of themselves, that they're real, that they're imperfect, but together they just lift each other up and they're able to kind of overcome some of these obstacles and be vulnerable and share, which is really, I think, a really powerful thing for anybody to be able to embrace.
And I love the fact that you're able to give us these characters. I mean, I think about it in particular with Annie, and how we find these characters and how they're just trying to find their place where they belong, but also not lose themselves, and feel seen. Again, those are very real life situations. I think for a lot of people, Kristine, what was it like for you to have these women who, if we saw them out, we would think they had everything, going on for them in the right direction? What was it like to kind of show sometimes the mask that all of us sometimes wear when it comes to family and even friends?
Yeah. I really feel that people ask me, who are the characters based on? And I have to say there's a little bit of me in each character. But then there's also some of my girlfriends in the characters. And there's some of my family members in the characters and women I've met in my journey in life.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning into this edition of Conversations Daily News. But let's get on tomorrow with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make today amazing. Take care.